to the Wager Makers Podcast with Web and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Web.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Web.
Hello. What's up, Smith?
What's up, Web? I'm Smith. That's Web. We are the Wager Makers. Thank you all for joining us. This is it. College football's down to the final two, like it should be, the best two. NFL football last week of the season, regular season. Just a few things to iron out here for the playoff race and all. Web, this is podcast number 114.
Every time I say the number, I just shake my head and can't believe we've done this 113 other times. Number 14, the first name that came to my head was Steve Grogan. I think he's a quarterback for the New England Patriots when we were a kid, when the Patriots had those white helmets with the dude like snapping the ball.
Yeah.
And then I thought of Ken Anderson. I think he was the quarterback when they lost to the Niners. And then I thought Richard Todd was 14, wasn't he, for the Jets?
I think so. 14 was a common quarterback number.
Yeah, but then
we were young, along with 12 and 7 or whatever.
The one that came that I'm going to go with here is Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts, I think for me was my number 114. I think Pete Rose was 14 too, right? Right. I was never a Pete Rose fan. I hated the Phillies. I was a Met fan as a kid. I was a big baseball fan when we were kids. And he'd always catch the ball and on the third out and run off the field like a douche and bounce the ball off the artificial turf. I always hated that. I don't give a shit about gambling. I'm glad he gambled on his shit, but I didn't like Pete Rose, so I'm gonna go Dan Fouts gets my vote.
Yeah, Dan Fouts. That was great offense to watch back in the day.
They were
Eric
fun,
Coryell, watching the San Diego Chargers, watching Dan Fouts air it out all over the place. Pete Rose, like you said, first of all, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, no doubt. But I was never a fan because he was never on my team, and he was a dick. Right. He was kind of a douchey guy. You know what I mean? Even like to the point, like that All-Star game, I think he took out the dude, the catcher dude, on a play at the home plate and stuff. Right. Always kind of a dicky guy, I think. But I did right before COVID, I met him in Las Vegas and got him to sign me a bat.
That's
Pete
right.
Pete Rose.
I'm sure it's a little bit better now. He was always like a little bit of a tool, like every Joe fucking baseball guy. And if certainly if he wasn't on your team, you damn sure didn't like him.
Yeah, right. Charlie Hustle, I get it, but over the top with that.
Right.
You know,
take it easy, dude.
Right. If he's on your team, you love him, but if he's not, you hate him. So, all right, Webb. We told people put the house on Alabama against Cincinnati. It was, I wouldn't call it a struggle. You're laying 14 points, 13.5 points. It took them a little while to get over the hump there and stuff, but that was a no doubter to me all the time.
Yeah, I mean it was easy. The game was never in jeopardy. You know what I mean? Like they were never losing that fucking game. But yeah, 14 points. That's a bit of a number. You always got to worry about that backdoor cover. But yeah, that came through, and that was in hindsight that was real fucking easy. We weren't
so good on the Michigan Georgia game. Georgia's whooped up on Michigan. We should have known. We should have seen that one coming, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't. That's what I get to giving some fucking faith in that stupid ass Harbaugh, and that they just turned out to be pretenders. They got just fucking lambasted. Yep. And I mean, when I got over losing money, I was glad for Georgia came out like that, and that that walk-on quarterback or whatever he is.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett.
Yeah. So once the sting of losing that money, it was okay because I hate Harbaugh anyway. So, but we were definitely just way wrong on that. Way wrong.
Right. So we'll have a pick for that coming up in a little while. Obviously, that's Monday night, Georgia and Alabama. I said it once earlier on in the season. I said if you're going to give when they played Georgia the first time, if you're going to give me Alabama in points, I'm taking them. We can talk a little bit more about that later. They got 6 in the first game, I think, and I think they're getting 3.
It's juiced up, so we'll just see. I mean, I would think it's just going to fall regular back to 3. I'm assuming some more money is going to come in on Alabama. I don't think enough that's going to swing it, down to 2.5 or anything. But we'll talk about it later. We'll get to that.
Well, we talk a lot about on this. We've talked about the so many bowl games and players opting out, and it's tough especially with the COVID now. Players opting out, and also just missing guys with COVID, games being canceled, everything. All these bowl games, they got the Bahamas Bowl, they got bowl games for every damn thing you can do. They got shit, they're dumping mayonnaise on coaches. They're dumping French fries on coaches for the potato bowl. Everything. But Kirk Herbstreit and Desmond Howard come out the other day on the College Game Day web and just, I mean, rip into players that aren't playing in these bowl games. You know, they're questioning their love for the football, whether or not they want to play. It's just a different generation, all that stuff. Without, you know, not trying to sound like we try and sound not like old fogies like they were sounding the other day.
Right.
But then my issue is, okay, so in the top four, the games with the top four, nobody really opted out. And anybody that was in there to play that wasn't seriously hurt played in those games. So all these other bowl games, they don't mean a damn shit to nothing. To sit there and wreck dudes. So my issue is just like, so we're watching Ole Miss the other night. They got this their quarterback, one of the
Matt Carroll. Prospect. Yeah, he's gonna
prospects going to the NFL this year and goes down, I think, knee, ankle injury. I'm not sure yet how serious it is, but it looked pretty damn serious at the time. I mean, what's your take on this with the players and opting out and all that?
Well, first of all, like you said, the top, you know, anyone in that playoff, there's not one player on there that's opting out. So I agree with you. I mean, first of all, motherfuck Kirk Herbstreit. Who the fuck is Kirk Herbstreit? Go make another. Just shut the fuck up. Desmond Howard at least got some skin on the wall in terms of what he's done in his career. But let's you know bring the clock back here a little bit here, Desmond, and let's, you know, when you were a senior year and you were looking at X amount of money, where you know, and you weren't playing for anything other than to make your school, $15 million fucking dollars. So I don't know. I don't blame players for playing, of course, if you want to play, and you know, obviously, if you're a fringe player or a player who's not guaranteed a top pick, I would play. But if you're pretty sure you're drafted in the top 3 rounds, and you're playing in the fucking Bahamas Bowl or any bowl, even those bowls, even the LSU Bowl the other day, it was hard to fucking watch. I got no problem with these guys opting out at this point. There's no
right. At this point, I mean, we've been critical over the years, but we've kind of gotten used to, like, when this first started happening, you know, we probably getting critical, but we've kind of got used to it because there's so many bowl games. And Kirk Herbstreit, this dude works for ESPN, who's really the reason for all these stupid ass fucking bowl games to have on TV. The whole Christmas season, there's bowl games all day long because ESPN is making money hand over fist on this shit.
There's like 30 something bowl games. I mean, it's like, even me, I'm like, I can't watch this fucking shit.
Right. Well, that's why the wagers are there for it. I mean, it makes every game like the Super Bowl. Well,
that's exactly right. And thank God, because they'd be, you know, come on. Even like, you know, those bowl games, you watch the Bahamas Bowl, it's like 6 people.
Right. In the stands. We talked about that. I mean, parents, not even all the parents, because if each one had a parent there, it'd be more people.
Absolutely.
So
true, bro.
I just thought Kirk Herbstreit speaking out of his ass. Really,
it's really easy to say that. You know,
meanwhile, he's calling 4 games in a day. It seems like sometimes.
Right. He ain't worried. Yeah, and listen, I ain't the skinniest guy around, and I've certainly put on the COVID-20, but that dude can put down the room service. He's gonna start talking shit. If we're gonna start, you know, critiquing motherfuckers. You know,
he never passed up a dime for calling one for a game.
Right. That dude will call him. You know, that dude will call Devin and me and you, Devin and Maya Grace playing football.
All the cornhole champions.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, speaking of making money on these bowl games, our college bowl pick'em, we're down to 1 game, and there's only 2 people left in it. Malcolm and Fat Frank, and they're within 1 game of each other. So,
yeah, I was talking to him. Yeah, he had, I think he had LSU. Yeah, and he had to go to. He's up at fucking 3 a.m. So he was like, I hope LSU's a second half team.
They didn't work out too good. They had LSU had nobody playing for them. But that was tied going into that game. I think Malcolm had Kansas State, and Frank might have had LSU.
So now, if they both have the same team, then Malcolm will win.
Right. Yeah. So that's hush hush. The game doesn't come out until kickoff. You know, who picks who. So hopefully, just for the sake of competition, hopefully they pick
two on opposite sides, right?
But we'll see. So Frank and Malcolm, don't tell us who you're picking. You won't have access to find out who each other picked
Good
until
luck, boys, and thanks
so game
for
time. But good luck. Hey, it's been a great. There's $500. Glad to do it. I'll make sure when I'm sending you the $500 that I send you the link to the Wager Maker store. So in case the extra $500, if you want to pick up a little merch,
there you go. Little merch. There you go.
Okay. And we're down also, Webb, in the Fantasy Football Championship, sponsored by the
Buffalo Grill
in Little Rock, Arkansas. Danny Shelton and the Mississippi Bulldozers are down by only 8 points and change to Chad Arnold and the Bell Chase Ninja Samurai. So it's a very close game. This is the second week. This will be it. This is it.
So after Saturday or Sunday, obviously.
After Sunday, we'll have a winner for that as well.
Chad Arnold's going to have the mask, the Cooper Cobra mask.
I bet he does this week.
Yeah,
I bet he does this week. Danny Shelton's been really good in that the league all season long, but Chad, he knocked me out of the playoffs.
Late. Didn't he come on late? I thought I didn't. I remember
me out of the playoffs and game on. But
good.
Yeah,
good
so
luck.
I'll be sure to send you guys the link. You can get some Wager Makers merch.
Absolutely.
Go from there. Webb, big story this week. I got to get my boy Andy Mills on this show one day. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a photographer up there and always at Giant Stadium and Jets games. He did the famous photo for when Chris Christie was sitting on the beach there when the beaches were closed in New Jersey. He was the one that did the famous photo.
Oh yeah, he lives right down there. He lives in Manasquan, right?
Yeah. So he did he had some great. He was right there with Antonio Brown. Lost his shit there on Sunday afternoon. But now Antonio Brown is coming out with a million excuses. The injury. They shot him up with something. He didn't know what it is.
Every fucking athlete gets.
Every NFL player, I think, has been shot up with this stuff at some time. You're dancing your way out of the stadium, so I don't think I don't know. I don't want to. It's just too many times. The boy who cried wolf. It just. Well, you come up with excuses. The first excuse was something about money and incentives. They didn't want to play me because of incentives. And then the next time it was like, oh, well, they wanted me to go in and I was hurt. And now I'm getting a second opinion, third, which is all fine. I don't know. But just why we have to go through the display of ridiculousness is the biggest thing. Other players get sat and told to fucking shut up or told they're not being, helping the team or whatever. And they don't go dancing off.
Right.
The field with no shirt on, like a big spectacle.
Right. Yeah, this dude, it's almost like, damn, this dude is fucking crazy. Obviously that's what it is. It's almost you feel bad for him. Yeah, now it came out that he asked for his incentive 2 weeks ago, $2 million bonus, and they denied it. But what, dude, you faked having your fucking COVID card. Like, it's just antics, and then you're hurt all the time anyway. Like, how many games has he even played in the 2 years he's been there? And then you go in the game, he's upset about targets. Just fuck you. I don't know. But the thing to me, you could, fuck the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to go on and be just fine without AB. But Tom Brady, brings the dude in and, lets him stay with them and sticks up for him and no one's going to, the dude, unreproachable Tom Brady, but kind of sticks up his neck out for him. And this is how a dude does them, in the middle of the game, just walks off and now he's almost throwing Tom Brady under the bus, saying he's not getting targets. Well, Tom Brady's throwing to the ball who's ever open. He's not going to. He's not throwing to you just because you're fucking you. Right. So he's just a douche, and I hope we're fucking finally done with him or whatever. But I don't know how. In terms of the Bucs, it's buyer beware. This is no fucking surprise. So,
right. In terms we've talked a lot about mental health or whatever like that on the show. I hope the dude gets some kind of help that he might obviously needs.
Put that aside.
But then it's ridiculous. Webb, I think the MVP voting's coming out soon, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know where they find these writers and all that get to contribute. But let me tell you something about sports writers. To me, many of them are pencil neck geeks that just wish there's nothing they can do other than write some story bad about some guy, and it's all they can have on a dude. We've seen it.
That's the power that they wield, right?
You can argue the Barry Bonds and the Clemenses should or shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because of what they were doing. The same thing everybody else was doing at the time when they played. Maybe not everybody, but so this guy Hub Arkush, he's a sports commentator, writer. I don't know where he's won, but apparently he's got a vote on this MVP thing. To me, it's pretty much a hands down. Aaron Rodgers is the best player in the game right now.
Who else would even be in the running?
Right. But he comes out and says he's not voting for him. He's not voting for him because I think he's a jerk, basically. Right. Obviously he's got issues with, Aaron Rodgers' vaccine status or unstatus or whatever.
Twitter
here's the quote from this Hub Arkush guy. I think he's a bad guy. I don't think a bad guy can be the most valuable guy at the same time.
Well,
they have the best record in the NFL, Webb, number one.
And number one, they won the division. They clinched. They don't need to play. Right. They're the number one seed. Clearly, there's nothing going on in the locker room that's prohibiting. Right. Or,
listen, 13-3, would they have been, if he was a nicer guy, would they have been 15-0 or something?
Right. Would they double clinch the home field advantage? I mean, what else are they going to do?
They've got a better record than anybody in football. Better record than anybody in football.
So clearly there's no issue in the locker. And even if there is, who cares? And
he's clearly the best player on the best team in the NFL.
I mean, you look at that team and they're like, they're good. They ain't that fucking good. You take him off that team, and that is, I mean, you could say that with a lot of teams, but that,
right.
That dude, he's ridiculously good. I think he's a fucking douche. I hate him, but
we hate him. We talked about it a million times. We hate him, but he's the best player in the league. Period.
And it's not a popularity. It's not miscongeniality. Right. This is who's the most valuable player in the league. And
what the man of the year? It's not that Walter Payton Award they give to people.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with wins and losses or how you play. And then listen, if the dude was the best, like an Antonio Brown, he's supremely talented.
Right.
But no one's giving that because it's a distraction. His team, he takes away from the team with all that other bullshit. That this dude, I don't know. And then if you're a professional, I'm going to put my professional sport coat on and be a professional sports writer. You don't fucking tell people who you vote for.
Right.
And you certainly don't, break it out like it's not even a sports thing.
Well, because it's just like everybody thing these days. It's all about this dude. He wants to get his 5 minutes. Let me get 5 minutes of fame. That's all it is.
Yep. Yeah. It reeks of that.
Yep. Let me get my 5. I know what I'll do. I know how I'll get somebody to fucking read my shit.
Right.
I'll tell him I'm not voting for him because I don't like him.
Right. Now what is ESPN calling now?
Take my vaccine stance or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, whatever that. What's the Athletic? Is he now? Is he employed by the Athletic now? Like what was that? I think it makes him look worse. Like almost like get away from this dude. You can't hire him.
All right. Well, we watched as Kelly got left from Notre Dame and went to LSU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a good point too. You had some good notes.
I had some good notes this week. Thanks.
Yeah.
We watched, and I fell for the trick.
Notre Dame public relations trick. Yeah, the propaganda machine. It was
right.
rolling.
Saying we don't need this guy. They have all kinds of ex-players talking shit about Kelly. Mm-hmm. They have this video where the new coach, I think his name is Freeman.
Yes.
Comes into the room. It gets announced. It comes in, and the team is just jacked.
Talked about this. Yeah.
The Notre Dame players are just jacked.
They couldn't.
They're jumping around. Could not be happy.
Christmas morning.
Oh, we finally got a coach that's going to listen to us and feel for us and shit.
Even though the other guy recruited us. Right.
That Kelly's a meanie. He's a meanie.
Yeah. Right,
After all this time, he's been holding us back, Webb.
Yeah. Yes, he's the reason.
He's been holding us back. So. Sure enough, the Notre Dame has a big football game this week. It's not a big football game; it's a bowl game, just like any other.
We also
saw that stupid Peach Bowl. The dude, blue and yellow stripes overalls, crying because his team just got beat on that pick 6 or whatever it was from Michigan State or what. I think that was the game it was.
I remember the dude even more than I'm like.
And it's like, dude, you're in college. This is the Peach Bowl. It means nothing. It's not a champion. I know you don't have $1,000 like I do.
Right.
I should be crying, but I was the one with the pick 6.
My kids should be crying. They just like it's fucking Christmas time. Devin just lost the
That's
Easton
what it was.
bat.
remember by the overalls was Pitt. It was the Pitt Michigan
That's
State.
what it was. That's
the dude ran it back for a touchdown, Michigan State. But anyway, we've talked about it's another non-bowl game. Yeah, it's Oklahoma State. They were about a game away from maybe going to the Final Four, and Notre Dame. So it was one of the bigger ones of the week. One of the bigger non-bowl games.
Yeah, one of the bigger bowl games that was not important.
Notre Dame comes out 28-7. Well, first of all, I kind of bought into this thing. I'm like, man, maybe they like the key to betting these bowl games is finding the team that wants to play. You know, finding the team that's going to come to play.
It's a motivate. You got who's motivated, who's playing, and who's motivated. Yep.
Certainly, the first time coach wants to get a win. Certainly, this Notre Dame team that's so happy.
Oh yeah,
they hired this guy Freeman.
Right, the tyrant. The dictator just got overthrown.
We're saved. We got this guy. He's going to bring us to the promised land.
Right.
So I fall for this. I'm like, well, Oklahoma State's coming. They're a little down. They coming off like they got knocked out last second of the the Baylor was able to tackle the guy at the goal line, kind of kept them out of the playoff hunt a little bit. So I buy in. I take Notre Dame that day. Notre Dame jumps up 28-7. I'm patting myself on the back. Webb.
Yeah.
Man, I read that like a book. Read it like a book.
Oh yeah, dude, this is so easy. I've been doing this a long time. I know how to do this.
I read the psychology of the Notre Dame players and the staff. I'm on it. I got my thumb on the pulse of the Notre Dame.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. This young athlete. Yeah.
28-7. Webb.
Even then, I was like, oh shit, yeah, maybe. Like I was like, yeah, they're right. It's working. They did it.
Comes Oklahoma State touchdown, like over and over. Finally, Oklahoma State wins going away. I think I don't even know what the final score was.
They kept playing. They would have kept scoring. Right.
I was so pissed. But this is how the team. Okay, great. You got a guy. You got a coach that likes you guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a coach that's gonna listen to you when you're talking. All this shit. So tired of this bullshit. Go out and play.
Right. Win. Right. Yeah. I was the same thing. I believe like, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe Notre Dame's got something here. Nope. Same old.
Nothing. Same shit.
It was
Notre Dame. It was one of like we've talked about getting Notre Dame either way. This was a blatant. I got Notre Dame so bad.
Yeah.
I think it was.
That's right. This is the definition.
New Year's Eve, the day before, some shit. No, maybe New Year's Day. New Year's Day, maybe.
New Year's Day. Yeah.
Oh.
Even Reed texts me. He's like, "Oh fuck, I wanted to get on Notre Dame. I missed it." I'm like, "Yeah, like Smitt had it."
Well, I was all over that shit. Banged it. All right. Webb, Big Ben, last home game the other night had a big, nice going away party. These guys, I don't know. Every time he scores a touchdown, that was another easy victory. That was an easy victory. I think we went into Monday going, listen, I don't really like anybody. I'm just gonna fucking leave this alone for a while. I'll get back with you Monday evening. Then all of a sudden I start watching the pregame and it's like the farewell to Big Ben game.
Everyone's
so I'm like, man, well, I gotta take the Steelers there. This is gonna be. So, but this is the deal. Every time now, Big Ben, look, he's had his problems off the field. He's been a great quarterback. He's been a Hall of Famer. One of these dudes that now every time he scores a touchdown, thank God.
It's the man upstairs who did it. He's saved. He's saved now.
Did he save those young girls in the bathroom?
Yeah, right. How when he's giving out them shots? Yeah, in that bar. Yeah, exactly. Where was God then? Where was the man upstairs at that point? Where was he pointing then? Pointing at somebody's tits.
But Big Ben, I'm a longtime Steelers fan, lifetime Steelers fan. I like the Steelers. I know you're gonna give me shit. I like the Saints too, but Big Ben's been a mainstay in the NFL for a long time now. I don't know how many.
He's been there? 20. I mean, the dude he's like you see him throwing a touchdown pass. He's got a defensive end like hanging off him. I was never a fan. I'm not a Steelers guy, and then that other shit he did off the field kind of turned me off as well. But you can't argue with and he never was, no convictions or anything like that. And it's on the field, right. Dude. You can't, you can't argue with the results. It would be a silly argument. And listen, if someone, whatever, maybe he had a obviously had a coming to Jesus moment. That's fine. So just go and do it.
Live your life, bro.
Go, worship or do whatever you want. I don't need to see your bullshit. That's why just go do it.
Right. Otherwise, you're just doing it for me.
Right.
For my sake.
Right. I'm good.
For the people to watch you. Look at me.
That's right. Yeah, look at me. Right.
God sees you. You could just easily be like, hey, thanks, bro.
Yeah,
nobody
go,
else would see it.
Go sit on the bench. Right. Go in the locker room. But you can, thanks, dude.
God sees it. He sees it all.
Right.
You don't have to give him this.
Right.
Just be like, man, thanks, dude.
Right. Yeah, just give it a look up.
All right. Lastly, Washington football team, Webb. Apparently well, first of all,
Another annoying.
Jalen Hurts. You see this play with Jalen Hurts?
Oh yeah.
Coming off the stadium. First of all, this is the same stadium that just recently got built, and early in the season there was like a sewer line was like dumping on people. Did you see that at the Washington? Whatever the Washington.
I wish Washington.
It was like, and then these are the Eagles fans trying to like cheer Jalen Hurts off the field, and people collapsed on him.
Yeah, it almost landed on Jalen Hurts. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean. That just seems to me to be a second fiddle franchise.
They're cutting corners around that stadium.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, it's fucking the proof that this is all over. And even Jalen Hurts came out the next day like, "What'd you guys do?" Like they didn't even help.
Yeah, he had a big statement. Like, listen, something needs to be done about this.
Right. It's dangerous. Right.
Don't just be like, "Oh yeah, that sucks," and then nothing. Yeah, like the same stand is there the next day.
Get the maintenance guy to screw it back on.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, go fix that. That's on the Monday. It's on Monday morning's list.
Right. Anyway, the Washington football team, January 2nd or February 2nd, Webb, coming out with the new logo, new stuff. It's a big secret. We finally got used to I got used to the Washington football team. I kind of like.
What's wrong with the Washington? Right.
I like their colors. I mean,
it makes sense. It's what else? What else makes you think of why? That's the Washington football team. All right, they're in Washington. They play football. It makes sense, right? I don't understand why they got to keep fucking with it.
I don't know. Classic. They could have classicked it up, made it look old school a little bit.
Right.
Kind of did. Yeah, they kind of did already. Just plain helmets with the number on it, whatever. Right. Oh well. All right. Well,
let me tell you something about them. Did you see what happened? The Cowboys they played there, I guess, 2 weeks ago, and it was supposed to be cold in DC. So the Cowboys had these heated benches shipped in, these personalized, logos, because it's going to be cold. Cowboys from Texas, they play indoors anyway.
They get the little pieces, put your feet, you put your helmet on the little thing.
Yeah. So the Cowboys had them flown in or whatever. So now obviously Cowboys logo, they put them on this Cowboys sideline in FedEx Stadium. So then the Redskins come like 2 weeks later. It's indoors, and they bring these crazy, ridiculous Redskin logo. So just to show you, that's the kind of franchise you like. It's literally like a 13-year-old kid. Like, oh, you brought something. You tried to show me. I'll show you. I'll bring my own heated benches to Texas, and when it's indoors.
Dallas should have brought their own bleachers so they wouldn't fall down on people.
Exactly. They should have brought it. Exactly. They should have brought their maintenance crew.
All right. Well, NFL Webb, the things are shaping up. I mean, and we're 1 week away from playoffs. Big game for the Saints this week, Webb. Big game for the Saints. They're not out of it yet, believe it or not.
Is it as simple as a win and you're in scenario or no?
No, they need a win, and they need the Rams to beat the 49ers, which the Rams need to beat the 49ers to win the division, I believe. All right. So the playoff race is shaping up. Webb, by the way, how about Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, my LSU men, winning the division, winning the AFC Central? Is that what they are?
Central,
AFC North.
Is it North?
Yeah.
Central, Central's with the Titans.
They don't have a Central. They don't have a Central. It's South.
Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, and who am I missing?
Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cleveland.
Cleveland. What a debacle that turned into be.
Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, those guys kill it. They kill it
easily.
Beat up on Kansas City last week.
Favorite team in that division for sure. I thought, to be honest, Jamar Chase was a bit of a reach, but obviously, I thought there were other people. They had a bunch of needs, I thought. Right. But obviously, they knew what the fuck they were doing. It did make sense that to pair him with Burrow, though. To me, that did make sense.
Right. Everybody agreed they needed an offensive lineman, but I think Joe Burrow went out on a limb and said, fuck that. I know I blew my knee out last week. Get this dude. This dude in here. Right. It's worked out great for them.
Good for them. Actually, kudos. And that's Zach Taylor's that coach, right? He's got to be up for Coach of the Year running.
No beef with the Bengals. The Bengals.
Good for them. I hate every team in that fucking division anyway.
So it looks like the Bucs will be winning the NFC South. It's still between the Rams and the Cardinals for who's going to win the NFC West. Green Bay, runaway. NFC North, as usual, one team and a bunch of shit. Dallas, but Philadelphia getting into playoffs.
Yeah.
Dallas won the division. Kansas City is winning the division. Tennessee still looking, man, and they're getting Derrick Henry back.
Coming back, and especially if they get the bye, that'll be that really help them.
So, and then Cincinnati and Buffalo and New England are still battling for that division. Webb, interesting scenario. I was reading about this the other day, and I was wondering what you would do in this situation. So I think if the Colts lose, there's a game against the Chargers in Las Vegas.
Oh, the tie?
And if they tie, both teams go to the playoffs. Do you work out some type? I've never seen anything like this before. Do you work out something with this team? It's not like you're doing it to screw another team. I mean, because one of those teams would be like you know what I mean? Like there's been times when you hope a team would lay down so that they help this other team, but this is a different case. It's like, look, why should we fight this out? If we lose, we might be out of the playoffs. Let's just make an agreement that we tie.
So who's going to be in? Who's the team that?
Well, I think maybe the Colts.
Okay.
Would go ahead of the team that loses this game. But if they tie, those two would be a half a game ahead of the Colts. Is what
the Colts are out. Wow.
Right. It's just an interesting scenario. I would like to see them both just take knees. Yeah, fuck it. Let's take knees.
Yeah. Just say we're not going to do it. Yeah.
Yep. And the game would be over fast. They could let the whole play clock run out every time and just take a knee. Punt, whatever. Just maybe not even punt. Just hand it. Get to the 50-yard line. Go for it on fourth down. Let the whole thing run. Then you hand it to the other team. They take knee 4 times. I don't know. Until one team wants to screw the other team over on the last play.
That's a throw a touchdown, right? Wow.
So I just want to see. That'd be interesting. I would imagine that game is going to. Oh, no. That game is at night. So the Colts game is going to be on. They're going to know already. It's not like they're all being played at the same time.
Right.
They're going to know that night whether if they tie or lose.
It doesn't matter what happens if the Colts win or lose. It doesn't matter.
I think here's the deal. If the Colts lose,
Colts lose.
If the Colts win, then they'll have to battle it out. Okay. But if the Colts lose, these two teams both make it on a tie.
Okay. So with the Colts win, it's not going to. I got you. Okay. I got you.
Right. But if the Colts lose and one of these teams lose, I think the Colts go in instead of them. So a tie would benefit. It just depends on if they want to fight it out or not.
Right.
I'd like to see where Goodell stands on that one if it comes to Sunday night.
Great.
So it's just an interesting something to watch for. I hope Colts lose. I hope the Colts lose.
Who are they playing?
I think they play like the Jaguars. I think they play like the Jaguars or something. And I think if they win, they're in. So it's not
okay, got right. It's unlikely.
The Colts play at the Jags. They're favored by 15.5 points.
Oh.
All right. So let's just pick the college game first. Get that out the way, and then we'll go to the NFL. I said it once. I said a million times. I think that if you give me Alabama with points, I'm going to take them. I think Stetson Bennett's a good quarterback, but I think he's good enough to beat a lot of teams, but not necessarily Alabama. He's got wheels enough to run all over Michigan if he needs to, but if a play breaks down, Alabama has guys that can just catch them after a 5-yard gain, not a 20-yard gain.
Right.
And that's the same thing that happened the other day. I think it's going to hurt Alabama that wide receiver is out that got hurt in that one game against.
He's big
because they really spread Georgia out in that first game and kind of sprinkled it all over the place before they started pounding the rock. They wore him out so that would help. That hurt him a little bit, and they looked a little out of sync throwing a little bit against Cincinnati. But I'm still taking Alabama plus 3 points. Webb.
I think the best point. Like you said, they spread him out and listen, whatever his name is, Becton or something. I don't know what his name is, but he's good. But if you remember last year or whatever year, I guess it was last year that they won it or whatever, one of those years when they had Waddle got hurt, I think. And this kid who we're talking about came in and kind of filled in for him. We're like, wow, you could see how this kid was going to be good. So I'm just saying that we're going to see a new kid who's just going to come in for this guy and be like, okay, next year this dude's really going to be the man. So I think while it is a loss, they're going to overcome it. And you just can't. They got their heart, man. If Alabama's got them, they can't. That's a hurdle that I don't think that Georgia
Right.
As much as they're going to put on a brave face and start, this is our,
Eventually, Georgia will win this game
right.
once.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once out of 10 or whatever.
Right. Like Michigan
it may
finally
be this
beat Ohio
Monday.
State.
It may be this Monday, but I'm gonna bet the other 9 times on Alabama.
Right. Plus points
and win
right.
my money.
They could even lose by 3 or less.
Right.
So that's fairly easy. I'm looking forward to the game. It's a good one. I think it's the 2 best teams.
2 best teams, and the other teams are complaining about the playoff and the playoff system. Isn't the point to have the 2 best teams in the championship game? I don't understand what the issue.
And I think it's even played out every year, right? It's
I've never felt like
the best
you didn't end up with the top.
Yeah,
team.
like those the
whether it was Clemson or Ohio State or whatever.
Yep.
I never felt like.
Yeah, I agree. So I think it's working just fine. I don't think we need more than 4 teams, and it's really getting saturated. Then
I've said it a million times. You can put 10 teams in. Teams 11, 12, and 13 are going to give you the reason why. Just like the NCAA tournament, there's 64 teams. Now it's and inevitably on that Sunday night of Pick'em Day, the teams 66, 67, and 68 are bitching that they beat this team and they beat that team and RPI and all this other shit. Same thing would happen in this.
There's 68 teams now. I think there's 2. How many fucking playing games there are?
And they're still complaining.
Right, exactly. Right. It's still not good enough. Right. The bottom line is win enough games and to be out of the complaining.
Right. Webb, let's go to NFL Saturday. Your boys are playing. Are they playing for anything? Maybe just to get a higher seed a little bit or something?
Yeah, it depends what goes. I think they could get. I think there's some way they could get. I don't know. I'm fucking so annoyed at them. They're the most overrated team. They could get to. I think they're the 4 seed. It's possible they can get to the 2. I think, which would be. I don't know what the difference is.
The thing that's fucked up this year is only one team's getting the bye.
Right.
And that's
so
the
it
most
doesn't
important
matter.
thing. If you play the first playoff game at home,
right,
and then you go on the road for one, well, you're gonna have to win a game. You're gonna have to win a game at some point, regardless.
On the road, right. And even the Cowboys, like even if they go, they're getting a home playoff game.
Like you'd be better off sitting your guys this week. Is what I'm.
Yeah, well, that's what they're
like. If you're gonna be, if it's the difference between 3 and 4. Then why don't you sit your dudes?
There's no
get a bye.
You're getting a home playoff game. It's just going to be it's more like the biggest scenario is the most probable scenario is they're going to end up playing the Cardinals again, who they just played last week. And plus the Cowboys got COVID. Micah Parsons has COVID. Like Tyron Smith got COVID.
You might as well take your bye week right now.
Right.
Take your bye week right.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
I don't know why. But same with Philadelphia. Philadelphia is locked in a slot.
Right. So I don't know what they're going. It's 4 points. I don't know. I would take. I think
one good thing about if we take Philadelphia, we end up with Gardner Minshew possibly.
Oh yeah. I'm taking the Eagles here. I do think the Cowboys need to play better than the Eagles, just to get a little feel good. But the Cowboys, the bottom line is the Cowboys. Micah Parsons is the best player on the fucking team, and he's not playing. Right. So, and Gardner Minshew versus Cooper Rush. I'll take Dirk Diggler every day of the week.
That's right. That's our boy. Chiefs and Broncos.
This is
I'm guessing it's the same scenario for the Chiefs. They're kind of playing for a seeding.
Well, can they? But this is different because can they
get the number 1, I believe, with the Tennessee loss possible.
Right. That's huge. That's huge. That's a huge advantage. Denver, Teddy Bridgewater's done, right? He's got something.
Yeah, I think they're probably going Andrew with Locke.
Drew Lock. Yeah. 11.5 is just such a number on the road. Fuck. You know what? What's the
games
total?
are screwy.
45. I'm either Kansas City or the over, and I like the Eagles in the other game.
All right, we'll go over Chiefs. We'll take Chiefs and over Eagles. I mean, Eagles and over Chiefs.
Yep. Chiefs are going to score points.
Yep. All right, moving on. Sunday. You see anything you like Sunday? Like again, a lot of these are locked and loaded. You think that Packers backup quarterback might try and get some run against the Lions? They're only favored by 3.5. I would imagine Rodgers is sitting out, right?
I would guess. Doesn't he have that toe or whatever? I don't have a line on that game, I don't think.
So in Green Bay by 3.5. Bengals over the Browns by 6. Mayfield is sitting out.
Yeah, but that's Case Keenum. Who are they playing?
Who's that?
Who's the Browns? I think I like the Browns.
Bengals and Browns.
I like the Browns.
Plus 6. Again, I think the Bengals are pretty much locked in.
Yeah.
Saints have to win, Webb. They're favored by 4.5 over the Falcons.
That's an easy one. Take the Saints.
Bears and Vikings for nothing.
Just stay away.
Yep. The Washington football team and the Giants for nothing.
Washington. The Giants are horrendous, dude.
Yep.
Horrendous. Is Heineken
I'm guessing,
Tyler Heineken player? Tyler Heineke?
I don't know.
Was he hurt? What's the number on that game?
Washington -7.
Yeah, take that. They're going to win that.
All right. WFT. This will be our last chance to take them as the Washington football.
Right,
team.
exactly. Yeah, there you go. That's even better.
Colts and Jags 15.5.
I'm tempted to take the Colts.
Yeah, I mean they're playing for something, right? They win, they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Steelers
and Ravens.
Wait for this fucking game to get over. The Ravens and who? I'm sorry.
Steelers at the Ravens.
I like the Steelers.
Yeah, +6. Why not? Unless I mean, the Steelers are not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, right?
I don't know, but their centers. I thought I saw something. Big Ben's last game is going to be without his center and one of the receivers.
Right.
But Baltimore's got nobody. What's his name? The Huntley's playing, right? Baltimore's done.
All right. Titans, Texans. Titans got to play. They're only favored by 10. I know Texans
10.5. Titans. They're Titans. I mean,
all right. Jets and Bills. That's so many points.
yeah, I got 16. I don't think that. I'm going to stay away from that one.
All right. 49ers and Rams.
Down the bottom here. Rams -4.5 and 44.5. That's Trey Lance is playing, right?
Yep.
Shit, man. I like the Rams.
That because I got to root for the Saints and the Rams this week anyway. So now I'm
All
good.
right, there you go. Perfect.
Seahawks and Cardinals.
So it's this way. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks in this one +6.5.
Right. Just assuming the Cardinals lay an egg.
Yeah,
when they need a win.
Yeah, and I think this. I mean, this could be Russell Wilson's last game with Seattle.
Okay.
Even Pete Carroll's last game.
Yep.
And we'll
They
take.
came to play last week too, which is good.
Yeah.
Patriots, Dolphins. Man, I called that shit last week. Tennessee. I said, man, Tennessee is the game over the Dolphins. Dolphins are not good just because they beat the Saints when they were all banged up. But 6.5 is kind of a number here for even though the Dolphins are out of the playoff contention, I believe. But this is kind of a big number.
They gotta be, yeah. 6.5. I don't know. I'm gonna punt on this one. If I had to, I would take the Patriots.
Seahawks,
They can't score. Miami just cannot score.
Panthers at the Buccaneers.
Here, hold on.
Same deal. I mean,
Oh yeah, -8.
Oh, you know what? I guess Green Bay will be playing. They're only one game ahead. Oh, but did Green Bay beat Tampa Bay?
Yeah, Green Bay clinched.
Clinched the number 1.
I don't know what Tampa has to play for.
No, nothing now if that's the case.
Yeah.
Unless they just don't want to be number 2 or 3 or whatever. But again.
But they're guaranteed a home game. Right. So just who you're playing.
Would you rather have Tom Brady just take a week off?
Yeah. I mean, I would.
As opposed to being a 3 or a 4.
Right.
We'll just skip that one.
Yeah.
Chargers and Raiders. Why not just take the Chargers are -3? Why not just take the Raiders? And in the case the scenario happens, they will root for a tie.
Right. I mean, I think the Chargers. Yeah, that's fine. Fair enough.
All right. So a lot of games. So we got Bama.
Yeah. Well, that's
Eagles.
Yep.
Over Chiefs.
That's sad.
Browns, Saints, Washington, Colts, Steelers, Titans, Rams, Hawks, and Raiders.
Yeah, those are all good winners. Yep, there you go.
Winners. All right. Good luck to Danny Shelton. Good luck to Chad Arnold. Good luck to Malcolm. Good luck to Frank.
Yep.
$500 on the line for all those guys.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Buffalo Grill, Little Rock, Arkansas. Thank you, Nick Perone and MN3 Technologies. Thank you, George Burge and Will Burr Investigations. Thanks, John Groh, for the bumper music. Thanks, Lil Saint the Goat and C Really. Thank you everybody for listening. New year, new wager makers. Let's keep winning. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. thanks everybody for listening. Happy New Year. 2022 is going to be the year of the wager makers. We're going to check our picks every day. We got hockey, college basketball, and NBA, and then obviously we'll take you through the playoffs here. Again, brick by brick, baby. You're welcome.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Welcome to the Wager Makers podcast with Web and Smitt.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Wager Maker Podcast.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah. Here
comes the Wager Maker
Here I go.
Express.
I hear y'all sick of losing money cause y'all don't know how to bet. Better hit that Wager Maker Podcast with Smitt and Web. They gon' show y'all how to do this. Take these notes like y'all some students. Y'all can't seem to pick them right? Well, tonight y'all lucky night. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Your bookie getting sick cause we built this brick by brick. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Come and place your bets with that WM Express. Let's go.